Morning Wasteland, Wanderer here, welcome back to Fallout 4 Horizon. So I went back to Sanctuary, then used the caravan system to get down here to Country Crossing. We're going to cross over, give these robots their turbo pump bearing, and then from there I think we go down into Boston again, talk to Jack Cabot, and I have a quest to clear out some ghouls or mutants at Faneuil Hall, and then make my way down south. We have a bunch of stuff to do down here, clearing radios in Andrews Station. Ghouls, when I came to Country Crossing, they said, hey, there are feral ghouls over at Four Leaf Fish Packing, so we have a quest to go over there, which I was going down here anyway to meet the Minutemen and take the castle. So we certainly won't get all that done today, but we'll do what we can. As usual, we'll try our best and get done what we can. But yeah, it's definitely not going to get done today. My poor character, I am making him sprint on a full stomach. I was spamming food trying to get the eating done for the day, and I came overfed, which gives us an AP decrease for a while, or like an AP regen decrease or something. Which makes sense. You eat too much, you're going to feel pretty lethargic. You're not going to want to go sprinting. If you're like forced to run a whole bunch after eating a big meal, I think your body just like makes you puke because it assumes you have to run, and like if you're forced to run, to flee, it's just going to make you puke so you can run a bit better. That way your blood is not being diverted to your stomach all the time. Someone's using a Gauss rifle. I'm not sure if that's coming from the ship or down at these guys.
That's the USS Constitution. What it's doing up on our building is a mystery.
Alarmed.
Thanks, Danse. Glad you're here to tell us these things.
Heavy circuit boards. I proclaim this victory.
Okay, install the turbo pump bearing. Where does this go? Down below, probably. Or did I just talk to this guy?
Captain.
This task of many years hinges on
Yeah, gotta put it downstairs, I think. Install it somewhere down here. Not sure exactly where. We get close enough to it, it should give us a indicator, I would assume. Right over here, got it. If this was like New Vegas or Fallout 3, you'd be able to like install it so that it fails mid-fight and blows them all up. But no. There's no option for that. You gotta do the quest or you don't.
What it's doing up on a building is a mystery. Should the
Thanks,
need arise,
Danse.
this fortification would make
Thanks,
an excellent
appreciate it,
vault.
Danse.
Captain Ironsides.
Trim the power on the starboard bow. Steady as she goes, Mr. Navigator. Luck willing, at long last we'll set sail. And our hero of the hour is to thank. You've earned a double share, sir. Well done.
Set sail?
On the eve of our voyage, the need for secrecy is long past. Our twin NX-42 rockets will alight and unmoor us from this dreaded savings and loan. The Constitution will launch into the heavens, and after, gently land in the ocean. Then we take our rightful place as defenders of the Atlantic.
You're going to what?
A thing of brilliance, is it not? Mr. Navigator, put her through her paces. We need to. Those motherless Our opponents have straddled, traitor. You hide in vain.
I heard something.
Excuse me. I'm trying to... There we go. Toss some grenades at me.
Scavengers are detectable. Blast them back to whence they came.
Ow.
Stand by.
Why can't I shoot through here?
And the miscreant is found.
Multiple
cannons are ready.
hostile targets detected. Requesting backup.
aboard. Blast them back to whence they came.
Engaging
They've
multiple
struck their
hostile
cause.
crews. Do not
Well
make
done.
any further escape attempts. Lawbreaker.
Get him, boys.
This threat is over. Would that I could say the same for Red China.
Captain Ironsides.
Gods be good, the scavenger assault has been broken. Not one of those scallywags stepped foot on our vessel. All hands, prepare ship for launch.
Congratulations, Captain.
There is one thing. We need power from the auxiliary generator to commence our voyage. I fear I must call upon you one last time.
Consider it done.
I admire your pluck. Here is your amply deserved reward. Godspeed to you, sir.
Okay. Well, it's a nice morning for it, at least. Nice morning for a launch. Just over in this building, right? Pretty sure. There's some scavengers over there we didn't get either. We need to go and finish them off, too. Plus, lots of loot. From all those people on the ground there, we can get. Yeah. I think it's over here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Get a nice cinematic shot of this. Are we good? Oh, the radios are off, so I can't hear them because I turned radios off. Oh well, we can still see it happening. Hold on, I'll turn the radios on for a second so we can actually hear them. I turn that off for copyright reasons. That's over here. Radios.
Light the engines.
There we go.
Dreaded savings and loan. We shall be moored no longer. We are away. Two points to starboard.
Man, that was a bit close. There she goes.
Yes, yes. We did it! Victory at last! Helm reports we are a quarter fathom closer to the Atlantic. By my calculations, in a mere century we will take to the ocean. Well done.
Now we can go and talk to them again at their new location right over here, and we get the hat, I think, and a bit of experience if we do that. You get quite a bit of experience and
Someone
stuff
needs
from...
to teach that vessel's navigator a few lessons.
Yeah, no kidding, Danse. No kidding. You know, you could have maybe just landed over here or something, or I don't know, like that was a bit off, but all right, well. Hey, it's a bunch of free loot, free experience, and yeah, might as well do it, you know. Let's get our loot from all the scavengers.
Good work. Don't leave anything behind.
I have a ton of 12 gauge shells and junk shells I'll probably scrap down. One thing I'd love to see is the ability to like turn, like just be able to turn your regular 12 gauge shells that are shooting like regular shot into slugs. Like I'd assume it wouldn't be that difficult to take the, you know, the pellets or whatever out of, not the pellets, the BBs or whatever out of the shotgun shell. That's what this one is in most shotgun shells. It's like various sizes of like BBs that are using a BB gun, but it's just a lot of them, and they're bigger or different types sometimes. But just taking that and melting it all down and making it into a solid slug, and then like basically turning your regular shells into slug shells for not very much of a cost, because it wouldn't be that difficult to do. Maybe some liquid fuel, or maybe, I don't know, some wood, because you have to use a furnace for it. But being able to transfer those would be nice. I guess they got all these guys. Yeah, they got them around the corner here. They didn't get too far. Good job, robots. Getting these scavengers for us so we can get their loot. Alright, I think that's good. Might be one or two people up here. Oh yeah, one more here. Hey, a missile. Okay, that should... Oh, this guy is still here. Are you not going to, join your comrades? He won't talk to me now, though. Okay, well, that's fine. I'd be upset, too, if my comrades in arms left me behind. Alright, let's go talk to Jack and get that quest rolling. I guess we already killed the guys that Imogene would have been, like, hooking up with, so I don't know that he'll have that quest for us to do, or maybe he still will. I'm not sure how that works. I've never done that in that order, like, prematurely killed the preacher guy. Raiders? Gunners. I am going to assume you're going to try to shake me down for caps or something. Would I one-shot you? No, you're actually quite strong. If I were to shoot you in the head. That guy I could, but this guy is quite strong. Maybe we open up with a pretty strong shot to him then from one of our more powerful guns, shall we? This or Reba? Maybe this. Yeah, that'll do the trick. See ya.
Remember the Citadel! Threat neutralized.
Ain't nobody a badass with a 45 government shell in their head. Well, it wouldn't be a shell. 45 government, whatever, bullet, I guess, in their head is I guess is the only proper word for it. They're dead. That's what matters. Stop trying to be cool, Wanderer. Just shoot the people and move on. Okay. Yes, downtown Boston. I should know this area like the back of my hand, but I still don't, even despite how much I played Frost and stuff. Oh, Cabot House is right over here. Okay. This way, please. Danse, is that you? Yeah, it's Danse. Okay.
Go away.
I'm here to talk to Jack Cabot.
Oh, it's you. Good. Come on in. Come on. Let's go meet the boss.
I can't click on this right now.
Sounds good.
Put this away. They don't let me have a seat over here too, so... Okay, we're a little bit desynced there. That's a bit odd, but alright. Let's, And I also cannot lock my
Jack,
power armor here. Interesting.
One moment. I just have to...
He'll be right with us.
Oh, damn. Clearly, I'll need to adjust the mixture. Hello, hello. Welcome to Cabot House. I'm Jack Cabot.
You don't say. I still can't click this one.
Pleased to meet you, Jack.
And I am very pleased to meet you. Edward finds it tiresome, but I always like to know personally everyone who works for me. Please, have a seat. How about a drink? Edward, the good bourbon, eh?
You want to sit
Have a
down,
seat.
Danse?
I know this may sound like a strange question, but tell me, what do you think about Scribe Halen?
Now, before we get down
Are-
to business,
wait.
I have a question I like to ask
It-
all my
we're
new
in a-
employees.
Is this really the time
Don't
for...
interrupt, Edward. The question is this. Do you believe there is other intelligent life in the universe?
The universe is a big place. Anything could be out there.
Wonderful. Most people's minds are too narrow to admit the possibilities of an infinite universe. But I'm not talking about flying saucers and little green men. I'm talking about the hidden history of our planet. The very origins of human civilization. Ancient powers that modern science, even at its pinnacle, could barely begin to comprehend.
You think aliens created human civilization?
Aliens? Don't make me laugh.
Yes, if by alien you mean a non-human precursor to the commonly understood founding cultures. Sumer, Egypt, Assyria. My father excavated a city in the Rub al-Khali in Arabia, which he dated to more than 4,000 years before the rise of any known human civilization. The structures and artifacts were strange, disturbing even. Clearly not constructed for or by humans. I've spent my life trying to decipher what he uncovered.
Jack, can I tell him what I need him to do?
I'm sorry, Edward. I just get carried away sometimes. You're sending him to look for the missing shipment.
Yeah.
Well then, I'd better leave you to it. We'll talk more about this some other time, when things are less rushed. It isn't important now. Welcome to the family.
Okay. You're officially hired. Congratulations.
I'm ready to get to work.
Good. That's part of the job, by the way. It's best to keep an open mind. Jack may be eccentric, but he's definitely not crazy. The job I got for you is simple. Jack owns a facility north of the city. There's an important package that went missing between there and here. I need you to track it down and bring it back to me. Any questions?
Only about 1 million.
You should start at Parsons State Insane Asylum. Don't let the name spook you. It's just a secure building that we're using. We think the courier got ambushed as he was leaving the place. The guards heard gunfire in the distance, but we don't know exactly what happened. Check in with Maria at Parsons. She's in charge of the security force there. She can point you in the right direction. You all set then?
Yep, I'll see you soon with the package.
Good luck. Don't get killed on your first job.
Okay, Danse, you wanted to know about Scribe Halen. Sorry, it was really bad timing.
Hey,
Need something?
excuse me, Paladin Danse?
If you have the time to talk now, I'd still like to know what you think about Scribe Halen.
You trying to hook me up with her or something?
Scribe Halen? Why? Is something wrong with her?
No, not at all. Halen's doing well. I simply wanted to talk to you about her, but I wanted to know what you thought of her first.
Honestly, I wish she was a companion option because I think she's pretty cool. Having a scribe would be neat. But can't say that, so...
She's as dedicated as they come. A real team player.
I couldn't agree more. But I wasn't looking for an evaluation of her performance as a scribe. I wanted to know what you thought of Halen as a person.
This isn't like you, Danse. Are you going to tell me what this is all about?
I suppose I'm beating around the bush because I don't normally find these discussions easy to handle. I'll try and get right to the point. The truth is, I'm worried about her. Since you and I are getting along so well, I felt like I could confide in you about it, to get your honest opinion.
She seems to be able to handle herself. Why are you worried?
Helen is a model scribe. This has nothing to do with her capabilities in the field. A few months before you found us, one of my men was shot multiple times by raiders. Halen stayed by that knight's side for 2 days straight, without sleep, fighting to keep him alive. But he was on a slow decline. I decided that his suffering needed to end, and ordered Halen to administer an overdose of painkillers, so he could die with dignity. Even though I'm certain she wanted to continue fighting for that knight's life. She injected him without question.
Are you asking me whether or not I approve?
Of course not. I stand by every order I've ever given. That soldier was gravely wounded. Even if, by some miracle, he happened to survive, he would have been paralyzed for life. But the decision whether or not to ease that soldier's suffering isn't the point here. The point is what happened later that same evening. Halen approached me while I was on watch. She didn't say a word, but I could tell something was wrong. After what felt like an eternity, she collapsed into my arms, crying. I didn't know what to do, so I just held her for a while. A few minutes later, she stopped, kissed me on the cheek, and simply said, "Thank you," before heading back into the police station. Right then it hit me. Maybe I pushed her too hard. I ordered her to ignore her instincts, to do something her medical training told her was wrong. That's why I'm worried about her, and for that matter, everyone under my command.
This isn't really about Halen, is it?
No, I guess it isn't. Look, 4 soldiers. Over half of my team are gone. Each one of them died because of decisions that I made. I understand the risks that come with the job. We all do. But how can anyone have confidence in me anymore? Hell, how can I have confidence in myself?
I'm curious, though, holding Halen,
The way you held Halen tells me you care about them. And they care about you.
I never thought of it that way. Well, it looks like things have taken a turn. I signed up to be your sponsor, so I teach you everything that I know. But it looks like I'm the one that needed the lesson today. All joking aside, I'm pleased that we had this discussion. And with all the problems you're facing, you still took the time to listen. It's comforting to know that I can speak to you as more than just your commanding officer.
I'm here anytime you need me, Danse.
Good. I may take you up on that someday. Anyway, thanks for letting me get that off my shoulders. I think it's been weighing on me more than I realized. I'm only sorry you had to see me at my worst, instead of at my best.
Sometimes, as a leader, you do everything you can, and it's just not enough, and that's just kind of how it is. The desyncing is weird here. I wonder if my character will be in the correct spot or not here.
Feels like you can take on the world in there, doesn't it?
I think we're good. Okay. Get the package. Start at the insane asylum. Got it. Yeah, sometimes as a leader, you just...
Structure in this condition might contain pristine pre-war artifacts. We should search it carefully.
I'm sure we will search it carefully eventually, but not right now. Sometimes you do everything you can, and it's just not enough, you know? And that's how it is. That's life, you know? You do the best you can, and sometimes it's not, you know, it's not enough, and that's just how it is. Alright, I forgot I was gonna open all these too. Energy weapons, very nice. Medical knowledge, very nice. Another fact or fiction. Oops, did 2. Another hacking guide, okay. Dang it, I did 2 again. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter, you can do them all at once and it'll still count, but it doesn't pop up and say what you got, which is a little bit annoying. I went in here to change my ammo on this thing. Yeah, we can do just 44 rounds, I guess is fine. Not an ideal sniper round, but it will do for some things. There were two.
Exterminate them! Send them back to
Get him,
hell!
Danse.
Standing down.
Okay, or don't. Oh, this is the, yeah.
Hey! Over here!
You freaking jerk.
For Elder Maxson! Nothing! You scared him! Give you that one.
Freaking pyros, man. Oh, come on, that was a hit. I'm getting clipping on something here.
Just getting warmed up over here.
We're gonna take this guy out from range because pyros are really nasty to take down.
Gotta reload sometime, asshole!
He just killed himself. You dum-dum. Okay. That was rough, man. The high-level raiders there. I think that's all of them. Yeah, we're good now. Okay. Yeah, I know better than most. I think that sometimes you do everything you can as leader, and it just doesn't work out, and it's not your fault, and you have to accept that and let it go. I haven't, like, talked about this much, but it applies here, so I guess I'll discuss it really quick. There was about a year where I only posted videos, like, very, very sporadically or not much at all. For even, like, months at a time, I wouldn't post very much. It was the year of COVID, but it started before that. And the reason was because I got really, really invested in playing Classic WoW when Classic WoW first came out, the vanilla version of it, you know, before anything else came out. I never got to experience Classic WoW when it first came out. I mean, I played it, but I didn't get to really experience it how I wanted to because I didn't have a good internet connection at the time, didn't have a good computer. Like, my PC was such a piece of junk. It would just, like, I'd get, like, a 5-minute long freeze when I went into Ironforge, which was, like, one of the big cities, and I'd have to wait for my computer to catch up, and then eventually, like, finally it would start working again, and I could, like, move, like, 5 feet in Ironforge, and then it would start freezing up again. Like, it was really bad, you know? I didn't have the proper PC for it. I was really poor at the time, didn't have much money, you know? I didn't have a good job at that point. Danse, come here. Let me heal ya.
Whew. I'm good, thanks.
That way you can heal me if I go down. But yeah, like, it, you know, it was a rough time in my life. My 20s was kind of a rough time in my life. After I got out of college, I had a tough time finding a good job. I worked really crappy jobs for quite a long time before I really was able to break into IT the way that I wanted to. Just because, mostly due to the economy at the time and the tech bubble having burst recently, there were a lot of out-of-work IT people, and they were taking a job they could get, which meant that if you were brand new and didn't have experience, well, you're kind of SOL because, you know, it's a free market, and You know, if there's an overabundance of tech workers and not enough tech jobs to go around, then you're just kind of screwed, you know? Use the, where's my Gauss rifle? There it is. Use this thing for a Haymarket Mall, sure. Should be someone with a missile launcher in here unless Horizon modifies that, so gotta be careful of that. I shot right by that person's ear.
It's on! Your weapons cold.
I don't think
Think you're clever? Tango down.
Bring it, you tin can! My arm!
No prisoners.
You said bring it. I like that. It's got like a electrical charge. That's what the damage over time is. It's like an electrical shocking thing hitting them. That's kind of cool. Anyway, to continue my story, I didn't get to play Classic WoW very much when I was younger, and I really wanted to. Got an augment there. That's kind of nice. So whenever Classic came around, that was my chance to finally get to play it, and let me tell you, I took that and I ran with it. I was gonna be one of the best players. I was gonna be like one of the best warrior tanks ever, because that's what I've always played as warrior. I always play like warrior, barbarian, melee type class whenever I can in classic RPGs. I'm just not a huge fan of sorcery type stuff. I mean, it's okay, but I prefer playing a big dumb brute and swinging a big dumb weapon and, you know, doing big damage and stuff like that. That's my thing. It kind of translates into Fallout 4 and me being the big juggernaut in power armor, right? Like, it's just kind of how I like to play games. Anyway, I had everything planned out. I had done research for months leading up to the release about how I was going to play, how I was going to like be super efficient and level up a certain way and everything, and determined the best way to level was with a leveling group, because the open world was going to be a nightmare because it was going to be so overpopulated, and you wouldn't be able to get quests done because the quest mobs wouldn't be spawning fast enough for everybody, and etc., etc. So had it all planned out. I researched to find a good guild to join that was going to be just as hardcore as I was planned to be, and they even broke us up into leveling groups, so we would like help each other out with our various leveling quests and getting everything done, and you know, doing all the work. Did all that, and we were ready to go the day of the launch. I took 2 weeks off work. I saved up vacation. I had 2 weeks off work to play WoW, and man, oh man, was I ready. I was so ready for it. And then the day of launch, Blizzard vastly underestimated how many people would be playing. The most popular servers were extremely overpopulated, to the point where, like, if you saw like Asmongold stream, he actually managed to get onto one of those servers, and it was just
There we go.
insane how much. We could have come in here and hacked the turrets, turned them on, and then made them attack those guys. That'd be interesting. But it was just insane
Powering up.
how many
Necron
people were playing,
on duty.
right? Like, it was just crazy. Maybe I can drop some mines over here, and I guess I have pulse grenades too. Those are really rare. I don't know if I want to use those. Danse, would you please move out of there? We're going that way, huh? Where did my mine go? What if I get in front of you and drop it over here? How about that? Oh crap, you're going that way? That's not close enough to trigger, is it? Maybe this guy's gonna go over here. Yeah, keep going. There you go. He's not gonna trigger it, is he? Dang it. Which way are you going? Make up a mind. Make your mind up. You know what? I'll just drop them both ways. You want to go this way? That's fine. You want to go this way? That's fine. Just don't go that way. There. Go. Oh, you changed your mind? Okay, that's fine.
For honor! For glory!
Kill.
Right in Dance's head, LOL.
Engaging hostile target.
You know what? I got those pulse rounds, right? Get those pulse rounds I can use. Let me use that instead. Weapon kit, 45 pulse, or no, 44 pulse.
Maintain your position!
Clear.
This is some real, like, Terminator-like stuff, you know?
Tolerating.
Pin them down! Damn it! Ad Victorium!
This still is not doing very much damage.
Mission accomplished.
Holy crap.
Anything
Robots are scary as hell now in Horizon. I kind of like that, though. It's kind of cool. Okay, continue with the story. Anyway, I did all this crap, and I was so ready to play WoW. And then Blizzard massively underestimated their servers, and yeah, when you try to cram 10,000 people into, like, 4 different starting areas on one server in Classic WoW, it doesn't work very well. Those areas are meant to accommodate like maybe 100 players tops, and having 10,000 there was just a nightmare. It was, players outnumbered the mobs like 100 to 1. It was kind of silly. And the really bad part was queue times were insane. It was like 8 hours sitting in queue to get into the server. So, and then after that, like after I sat in queue for like 6 hours, so I'm sitting on Discord, waiting in queue with all of the people I'm supposed to be leveling with, you know? And then the ghoul spawned and interrupted my story. And we're just chatting, you know, talking about where our position in queue is and everything and all this stuff. And then 2 of us got disconnected when we had about an hour left. An hour left to get in, and we disconnected. We had waited like half the day, half of my first day off of work when I was going to play WoW all day nonstop, and I sat in queue most of the day, and then disconnected. And GG. GG noob, you know, nice job waiting in queue all day. Now you can't play. So Blizzard opened up some new servers. The rest of the guys in my leveling group were like, yeah, we're gonna re-queue, you know, it's fine, get in when you can, you know. The 2 of us that got disconnected were like, yeah, it's fine, get in when you can. You know, we'll get you caught up and everything. But I was like, you know, what if I get down to like an hour left and it happens again? Like, it's just so dumb, you know, like that's so stupid. Is it really worth it? So Blizzard then opened up some new servers, but the problem was, you know, I already had a place in this guild. I had a leveling plan in this guild, you know. I mean, I can level by myself, obviously, and everything, that's no problem. But, like, I was already set, you know? Like, I knew what I was doing. Yeah, ooh, that was kind of close. I got stuck on something. Gunners. So yeah, anyway, I decided to go ahead and roll on this new server because my my thought was, you know, I didn't sign up. I didn't take days off to not play the game, you know. Oh, we're on pulse rounds right now. I want to take those pulse rounds out. Well, I can use the other gun too. I can use Reba. Use Reba McIntyre instead. That works. Someone's not dead. Now they're dead. So yeah, I thought, you know, I didn't sign up. I couldn't even see that thing. It was like stuck in the train. I didn't sign up for this to not play the game, so I'm gonna just go ahead and play on this other server. Good luck to you guys. Sorry about that, you know, but I'm not gonna sit in queue all day and then not get to play. That's just not my style. So I did that. I started on this brand new server where I knew no one, but I was still just determined. You know, the server had just opened up like half an hour ago, so it was still like really, you know, it was still really fresh. You know, I wasn't really behind anybody.
There must be something significant in this area.
And yeah, so I played in that server, and honestly, that was like kind of the best experience because I had the true vanilla experience. You know, everybody on that server was kind of like a refugee that had maybe plans for other servers but couldn't play there. And I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll get to level up later on that server. You know, if the queue times are more reasonable later, maybe I can play on the original server I wanted to play on. But no, it never got better. Like, it was always a 4+ hour queue to get in at all times. It was just ridiculous. So I just said to hell with that and played in the new server. On that new server, I still had the same drive and determination, and I got level 60 warrior first. I was not first level 60. That went to a guy who later became a very good friend of mine, named Chaotic Hunts, who we all called Chunts. I don't know. It was a funny name. Hey Chunts, how you doing? Kind of like another word that rhymes with it. That was the joke, I think. Oh god, I've just tabbed out an accident. Why does this happen sometimes, game? Why does it happen? It's always when I use VATS. Anyway, I talked to people on this server, grouped with a lot of people, and because, you know, I was a warrior tank and I had a lot of experience in games, in WoW in general, I helped run top server guilds before, and that was kind of my goal, was to be in like a top guild again, you know, and be the best on the server if I could, and be like a top 50 world guild if possible. So I ended up, long story short, I ended up, you know, recruiting a bunch of people, and just a bunch of outcasts and misfits from, oh, Jesus. God, that was a lot. I mean, there was a railroad sign there. I thought maybe, there'd be some loot here, but no. Still got a bite off after you got shot by 308 round. Okay. Anyway, had the true vanilla classic experience. You know, I got to build a guild from scratch. No help from like outside. I don't know, like outside of the game. Like just talking to people in game. Build a guild up from scratch. That's a good neighbor, by the way. And we really had a good time. Really enjoyed it. You're probably wondering, well, why does that? How does any of this hook into what you were talking about with Danse, which is, you know, the whole hello, dog. How does any of this hook into the thing you were talking about with Danse, with, you know, him feeling like a failure in leadership? Well, after a while, people of course got tired of the game, and you know, I had to keep recruiting new people to fill those holes that those people left, and often, you know, you're recruiting lesser geared players, because that's all you can get. You know, you have to bring in new people. Gotta bring in new people, you gotta gear them up, and that's a process, and it takes time, and they've got to get used to the way you do things in your guild, and it's, you know, it's like a company, you know, when you're recruiting new people, it's, where are you going?
Not getting past me.
Uh-oh. Oh, nice job, Danse. Get to keep that main nuke, too.
That's how we do it in the Brotherhood.
Hold up. I think we're being stalked.
Hostiles, base. I'm not gonna make this easy for you. Nice try. I lost him.
We may have a problem here.
Reading my story in a second.
Sent them back to hell.
Remain vigilant.
Hostiles reacquired. Switching to search.
You almost got him, Danse. Take him down.
Long live the Brotherhood.
Okay. So anyway, did all that, and we kept it going, and we kept it going for all of Classic, but eventually, you know, we had 3 raid teams, 3 40-man raid teams on our guild. They raided Saturday, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, okay? So 6 days a week, this guild's raiding. And it was so that, like, people can bring in their ults if they want and, you know, raid on their ults, too. And then, you know, we'd use... There was definitely, like, an A group, a B group, and a C group. Like, my main group that my warrior was in was, like, the best group. And we didn't, like, try to cherry-pick people for that, just kind of sort of ended up being that way. But we definitely use the other groups kind of as a way to... gear people, groom people, and then, you know, take them as replacements for the main group. And then when we did speed runs and stuff, we would, you know, use a combination of the groups for the speed runs. And anyway, eventually we had to bring in a pretty large number of people to fill quite a few holes we had in each group. We were still running, but, you know, it's not ideal to run a 35 or a 38-man whatever raid whenever you could have 40 players. So we wanted to fill those holes if we could. And we ended up taking on this other group from another server and bringing them in to kind of just plug all the holes. And we brought them in and said, hey, you know, we're not going to be able to keep all you together. We don't have room for all of you in one raid, but we can find room for all of you in our various other raids, you know? So if that's okay with you, then, you know, we can do that. And so that's what we ended up doing. And it was fine for quite a while, but this group had plans basically to infiltrate and take over our guild eventually was their goal. And, like, you know, if not, like, take it over completely from the inside, then, you know, try to take our best players and make their own guild. And this is what they did in their previous guild, too, and they also ruined that guild, and that's why they created a whole bunch of drama and a whole bunch of problems, destroyed their guild from within on their other server, and that's why they were this group of people looking for a new guild. It wasn't that their guild had abandoned them, it's that they had destroyed their own guild by being shitheads, pretty much, by being greedy, crappy shitheads. And we took them in not knowing this. I wish I would have talked to, like, their previous officers and stuff, but, you know, we didn't. We just took their word for it. I always assume the best in people, which is kind of a character flaw of mine. I'm optimistic and assume the best in people, when, in fact, you probably should assume the worst. I don't know. Funnial Hall, yeah. We're gonna go clear Funnial Hall. That's what we're doing here. So yeah, it, you know, didn't work out how I hoped it would, because they did eventually, like, work their way into positions of power as officers and stuff, because I wanted to integrate them in the guild. I wanted them to feel like, you know, you're part of our guild, you know, we respect you, and we want you to feel like you're our guild, this is your guild as much as it is my guild, I guess is what I was trying to impress upon them, and make sure they felt that they were represented and they weren't being used. Because a lot of guilds will do that. They'll bring in new people and just use them, and, you know, they're always kind of treated like second-class citizens. But, unfortunately, these people had other
open it up.
designs on what they wanted from our guild and from me and what they wanted the guild to be, and eventually, after a lot of work on their part and me just not being able to fill all the holes because people kept quitting because it was the end of Classic and people were like sick of the game and they wanted to play something else, we ended up disbanding the guild. And it was this thing I worked so hard for. Like I can't even describe to you guys how much work I put into that guild, how much blood, sweat, and tears I put into it. And it still fell apart despite how amazing it was in the beginning and all the work I put into it. It wasn't enough. It didn't matter how hard I tried to recruit new people. It didn't matter, you know, how much work I put into it, you know, trying to train new people and everything. In the end, it wasn't enough. And we ended up disbanding. And it was for the best, honestly, because it meant that I got back to making videos and doing what I'm doing best right now. But at the time, it was pretty heartbreaking to me, you know? Like, I lost this thing that I worked so hard for, that I loved. You know, that was my baby. You know, and it did so good. We were best guild in the server. We were, like, top 20 at one point, world. We did so good, and I was so proud of what we accomplished. And then, you know, to have that kind of stripped away from us, from me, was really sad. But that's life, you know? Sometimes you do your best, and it just isn't enough. And like what happened with Danse, sometimes, you know, he did his best, but his people still died. You know, he did what he could, but it wasn't enough. And I guess, you know, part of life is just accepting that failure. Oh, it's these guys. I didn't even notice where they were at. Well, hello there. I'm here to scrap all your parts after I take your hat.
Captain Ironsides.
Our hero returns. What a glorious success. True, the mission is not quite complete, but one cannot deny our progress.
That was truly something.
Of that, there is no denying. I wager at this rate we should land in the ocean in 1, perhaps 2 more launches. My circuits tremble with excitement.
You really are going to launch the ship again?
With the courage and support of my faithful crew, our eventual triumph is assured.
Okay.
I'm glad I could help out.
You were instrumental, sir. A veritable godsend. In recognition of your courageous role in this, I hereby promote you to the role of Honorary Lieutenant. And being that I, well, cannot actually fit below decks, I hereby give you the captain's quarters as well. 3 cheers for our new lieutenant. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
All right, we got the hat as well, right? I'm pretty sure you get the hat. That's the whole reason we're doing this quest. Maybe not. Maybe you don't get it here. Maybe it's downstairs, I'm not really sure. I want to scrap these guys for parts, but I don't want to, I don't want to do it while Danse is here. He might get upset, even though they're literally robots, and there's no reason why he should get upset at that. I'm pretty sure he will. We can use this, but we cannot take all the stuff down here. It's stealing. Well, we can take the stash, I guess. That's nice. Alright, good enough. Okay, let's get out of here. So can you go down this way now? Like, what happens if you exit through the old exit down here? Where does that go to? I am curious about that. What if you opened it up and he just fell down? And you just fall down to the ground from like 100 feet up? R.I.P. It's like you're in like a high rise up here, okay. Oh, can you not get down normally? You have to just like... I see. Yeah, you can go out here, but there's nothing out here. Well, thankfully for me, I got power armor, so I can just jump out of here and be good. Let's make our way towards Faneuil Hall then, yeah? Over this way. Which... is this... this is Faneuil Hall. We're on top of it. Literally on top of it. I could go down through the top, actually. That'd be kind of interesting. I've never done it like that. The grasshopper's up here, too.
There we go.
Okay, well, I guess I can go down in and clear it this way. I've never done it like that before. It should be interesting. That's gonna be next time, though, guys. Hope you enjoyed my World of Warcraft guild leading successes and failures and why that's okay story. Maybe you'll get something from it. Anyway, see you next time.